What is going on, everybody? Ryan Leary, William Tincup here with the BARF. This is the look back at the week that was so you could be prepared for the week that is. Mr. William, it's another Sunday. How are you, my man?
Brother, I'm doing well. Wife's out of town, having a lot of fun with my son, and all good stuff, man. Good to be here.
Can't complain. We have a busy week about to happen in about 24 hours for me. I think you head out a
Yep,
little later. We're
yep,
heading to HR Tech, so if you're
indeed.
there, please come say hello to us.
We'll be at booth 4926. That's
Is that the
FAMA.
number?
Yep, FAMA's booth 4926. Come
We
and see
will.
us.
We are taking over their podcast, which is awesome. 9 to 5 Nightmare. So come by, jump on the podcast, and we're going to talk about some horrible, scary
Yeah,
nightmares.
well, people behaving badly is how I like to think about it. Is like we've
Just
all got those
nightmares.
stories. This one person that did this thing. Like we've heard those stories from our
Hmm.
parents or friends, and like that's what's going to be really interesting to unpack is the stories, and then potentially how do you solve for that so that you don't have that in your workplace.
How many people are going to be truthful and not say, a friend of mine
Oh,
told me a
100%.
story?
I'll be honest, but I'm not gonna. I mean, just because I've got a bunch of crazy stories and I don't
Mm. Yeah,
care.
but you don't need to walk into a corporate
Yeah,
office on Monday.
that is correct. That is correct.
So
Yeah,
anyway, it's gonna be fun. I'm totally looking forward to this. A
me
lot of
too.
lot of good things happening out there, and then from there we'll be at Indeed FutureWorks. So
Indeed.
it'll be a I saw what you did there. It'll be a
Hmm.
nice week of travel, and then we are off to a special retreat.
That's right. The little
Now that we
corporate
gave
retreat,
everybody our travel itinerary, I feel like
oh,
they're gonna come take my house from me.
as they should, as
As they should. The
as they
kids will
should.
be here. The wife will be here. So
Hey,
they're
listen, if you
they're
want to
they're more
take over the
important to me.
wife and kids, Godspeed.
Peace. Godspeed, little Minu. All right, kick us
let,
off today. What
let
do we
me
got?
let me pitch you a story here, and it's not something that you haven't necessarily heard. That Amazon wants staff back in the office 5 days a week.
Nice.
And the article goes on to say your boss isn't likely to follow suit.
Like your boss isn't coming in for five
Correct.
days a week.
Correct. They still have a flex schedule.
Nice.
So that's
Well,
what.
they should. It's hard work. It's hard work.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest. So what drew me to this article is on marketwatch.com, so you can look it up there. Is is just the juxtaposition. They actually kind of state it this way. It's like they want you in the office. They don't necessarily want themselves in the office. They can come in and pop in and do flex work or 3 days a week or whatever the bid is, but you, worker bee, you've got to go in. So I think on some level, when I read it, I'm thinking, is this just a bit to get people to quit? Like, is this just we're going to do RTO because a lot of people hate it, and so thus they'll just quit? So we'll see. But I think I think Amazon is going to have a pushback on this because it's Seattle, and by and large, I mean it's all over the world, but their headquarters is in Seattle, and I think it's actually going to hurt them with retention and recruiting, and ultimately is going to have a hard time hiring people. And I think RTO without equality. Again, if everyone's in the office, CEO's in the office, everybody's in the office, receptionist, everybody's in the office.
Hmm.
Okay, I don't
But why not
necessarily
the boss? What's the reason behind this?
because they like working from home.
Yeah, so do I. Good luck. All right. OpenAI. This is actually pretty significant. So
Yeah,
OpenAI hits 11 million
dang,
paid subscribers. That's a lot
that
of
is.
paid subscribers. So this raises their valuation to a whopping $150 billion. Now, I will admit I am a paid user, right?
Yes,
They're
you
not
are.
paying me for the story,
No,
but I wish they were. But I am a paid user, and it's significantly better than the unpaid
right,
version.
right.
But anyhow, so here's the breakdown of paying subscribers. So GPT Plus, 7.7 million users.
Okay.
at $20 per month. Enterprise has 1.2, that's at $50 a month. And Teams has 980,000 at 25 per month.
All of those numbers are going to go up.
Oh, gotcha.
Enterprise at 1.2 right now.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
we're
that's
going to
gonna.
blink, and that's going to be 10 million.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, hey, they're crushing it, and they should, right? I mean,
Yeah,
they are the driving force in
got no
all of
hate.
this. We should probably consider. I mean, I'm paying for it. You might as well just get Teams, and you can join me. But you might
I
mess up. You might mess up my
I
my
use the
flow
free
here.
version, and I'm totally comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I know that at one point I'm going to move to the paid version.
Yeah.
I'm going to try Gemini
Well, let me
with
know when you
Google
do.
first.
I'll add you to my team.
Okay.
But you have
Well,
to
I'd love to
promise
be.
not to mess up my voice because I've been working hard on
I
this.
I think you have separate accounts.
Maybe
Yeah, I would hope so.
we'll see.
All right. Boeing furloughs executives amid ongoing strike with 33,000 union workers. Found this
Hmm.
on kitv.com. So Boeing, God love them, is
In my
temporarily
head, I literally just heard crashing sound effects, but I was just like, yeah,
dude,
we shouldn't put that in there.
dude, they can't catch a break. This poor company.
Yeah.
Anyhow, they're temporary furloughing. So why I was drawn to this particular story is it wasn't just about striking workers.
Mm.
Okay, striking workers, they rejected a deal. And they're back at the table.
Right.
So they're trying to work it out, which is great. But to mitigate some of the costs while this is happening, they furloughed executives, which you rarely hear about.
Yeah.
You hear about the striking workers. It's all about the workers. You don't hear about what they have to do, the company has to do to mitigate the cost
Hmm.
of that. So I hope they get back to the. No, I hope they are back at the table. I hope they get a deal done. I hope they can get back to work, and the executives can get back in. But it seems Boeing just can't catch a break.
Yeah, it's just something we'll give. I mean, these guys are too
Hopefully.
big to fall, right? Like this is one of
Oh
those
yeah,
situations where that would be a massive hit to everybody,
yeah.
everybody, not just in the States, but everywhere. So
There's
I
only so many people that make big planes.
exactly, yeah. So this is not going to be a problem. It will be a cluster, but it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
going to be
right.
an issue. All right. Paycheck introduces an AI assisted recruiting feature to help small businesses. So I want to talk about this
I
because
saw this. This was cool.
yeah, I really like this one mainly because for two reasons. One, it's completely focused on the SMBs who are
Right.
completely underpowered in all things recruiting, all things hiring, depending on the size, right? Like
No, no, I
I'm
agree.
not talking small business of 500, like small
Yeah,
business.
20
Yeah,
people, whatever.
yeah, they're hurting, right? They're very underpowered in everything they do. And the second reason is they're powered by Findem. So they've partnered
That's
with
cool.
Findem, yeah, which
We
we've done
love
a
them.
lot of work with them in the past.
Yep.
We'll see them this upcoming week. They're a solid player in this space. They're the power behind their recruiting co-pilot. And I mean, look, this just gives access to enterprise features that generally they would not have access to because they just can't afford it. So I like this play all around.
Paychex was my first payroll system that I
Nice.
used as an entrepreneur. They're based in Rochester, New York, upstate New York.
Hmm.
So good firm, good for them. We love Find them. Just a good play, good news. So Ryan, have I ever told you about a story about when I was out in Midland, Texas, 1988? This is
Oh man, you used to walk
basic,
up. Did you walk up the hill both ways, 1 mile to school?
something like that.
Is that where you're going?
Yeah. No, no, no. So I get out to the store. We had done this at a store that I was previously at, but they were having trouble. This is store 608, Midland, Texas. They were having trouble with people passing bad checks. Okay,
Hmm.
and like a real problem. And so I pitched this idea to the store manager. I said, "Listen, I can, I can fix that if you want me to fix that." He goes, "How are you gonna fix it?" I said, "Just let me fix it. Like, don't
Put
ask
a bat to their
questions.
head.
Don't ask questions. Just let me do it." And he goes, "All right, go." I'm like there on the job like a week, 2 weeks. And so what we did is we took the bad check and blew it up with a like a blueprints company that they could blow it up,
Mm-hmm.
and we made them like those corporate checks. I mean, the golf
Oh,
checks,
nice.
right? And then we put them on the front wall where
Nice.
all the
Nice.
registers are, and so you can see the names of people. And Midland's not that big; everyone knows everyone.
Right.
So Janet Rossi, right there, $285, not sufficient funds.
It's because of Janet we're no longer using checks in
Dude,
stores.
it's so great. So people would come in and go, "Hey, pull that down." I'm like, "Hey, write a check." No,
Write a
give
check.
us
Give
cash.
us cash. Cash, baby.
and and all those checks came down
Nice.
because people would come in, they'd hear about it from friends and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
They'd hear about it and they'd come in like, I need to. Hell, I didn't know I was out of town. Anyhow, let me just give you the cash. Great. And
So
the store
where is this
manager,
story going?
no, the store manager he was so impressed. He gave me like 2 weeks off. He's just like, dude, that's been haunting me forever. And you
Nice.
just came in and like in a week there we got all those funds back. I'm like,
Oh, there you
dude,
go.
it is what it is. Here's the story I want you to hear.
I thought that was the story.
Chipotle, Amazon, and Uber all land on New York City's employer wall of shame.
Hmm.
New York City's comptroller released an interactive dashboard that compiles a list of some of the big Apple's worst labor offenders.
I love this.
I know,
I want
right?
access to
I know.
it.
So
I want it.
this is on inc.com, inc.com. So first of all, you're right. I love this.
This is next Sunday's show. We're just gonna pull the dashboard up and talk.
Let's see where we're at. Let's see where
This
we're
is
at.
it.
I mean, again, the story about Midland, that was in the 80s. This is modern. So now they can actually show you exactly what they've done and what
Nice.
all that stuff. So I think it's great for candidates. That's really at the end of the day, it empowers candidates to then make good
Oh, is this a
decisions.
public dashboard?
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, hell yeah. Then this is going to be the next show. Like that.
Dude,
I like
so
that.
awesome.
All right. We're going to pull this up. All right. Salesforce rolls
Yeah,
out $50 million in AI training.
that's cool.
I love this. I love this for a couple of reasons. One, they recognize, as they should, there's a skills gap.
Hmm.
And obviously, this benefits them. Let's not get it wrong, right? This isn't just come off the street and learn, right? They're educating their workforce, but they're doing this because they are releasing AI agents for customer service and all
Smart.
that stuff, right? And they're replacing all of that. So they need people who are skilled to
Right.
take on the new job. So rather than just throwing them to the street, they're going to train them over the next year. And so this is a $50 million push. It's through their Trailhead platform, it's called, and it's going to
Hmm.
run through the end of 2025. So I love it. I think this is a great thing. What was
Smart.
really interesting, though, the hub, so it's in their building, obviously. The hub is a dedicated. They've dedicated. I'll get it out.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
entire floor to training. So I was thinking, I'm like, that's really cool. You're gonna take an entire floor of your building and dedicate it to
It's a
AI
big building.
training. Then I'm like, why the hell do you have an entire floor that you can dedicate to
Well,
AI training?
they have a whole building.
And because they have a whole building, number one,
Yeah,
but there ain't nobody in the building,
I know. You gotta
right?
go to the
So
RTO.
yeah, this is how they're going to get them back in the office. This is how they're doing it. But anyway, $50 million. I like it. You can't go
It's the
wrong with
first
it.
of many, dude. We'll see
Absolutely.
another investment from them in another 9 months,
Oh
and
yeah,
it'll be more.
absolutely, absolutely.
I love hearing stuff like that. All right, Ryan, do you know who the character on YouTube, the person on YouTube called Mr. Beast is?
I do, and I follow him across every channel, and I want to know how I get that amount of money just to give away.
700 million, baby. So Mr. Beast's training and analytics documents leaked. That's the
Hmm.
story, right?
Explain.
Basically, it's an HR manifesto. This was on news.ycombinator.com. Fascinating. First of all, it's in a lot of places, but this one actually does a lot. I found it on Reddit. So anyhow, the leaked manifesto, I believe it was leaked purposely.
Hmm.
So I'm putting air quotes around that.
Okay.
I think it's a guide on how to manage or leverage Gen Z.
Hmm.
It reads like, okay, I'll give you two examples, okay, and what I fell in love with, but you need to go read the whole thing. It's worth reading the whole thing. Two things I love. One, hiring only A players. Okay, everyone says something like
Hmm.
that, but what it then went further to say is bloated teams kill startups.
That's true. Hmm.
I'm like, hmm, someone actually said that. Good. Two, the amount of hours you work is irrelevant. So think about a boomer hearing that
Hmm.
shit and going, "What?" Yeah, no, we don't. It's all value.
Yeah.
What did you produce? In fact, he wants you. He actually says this in the document. I don't care how many hours you work. I just care about the output.
Yeah.
What again? The
What's the
best of
output? What's the
videos.
value?
What's the value? Actually, what's the value? And if you created that in 3 hours, then you went to the museum for six, and
That's fun.
they
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
care. But
Yeah.
look at this as a Gen Z employee manual.
I'm gonna pull that up, and it's interesting because obviously my girls are just all
Yeah,
over
yeah,
it, right? Like
yeah,
they're
yeah,
all
yeah.
over it. So, but they look at him as a YouTuber. That's
Yes,
it.
that's right.
He's got an enterprise. Like,
Oh, dude,
I
he's
mean,
got
he's
candy
he's
bars. He's
upwards
got,
of
yeah.
$1 billion at this
Oh,
point,
yeah,
right? So, I mean, this is a legit maybe YouTuber turned businessman, right? Like
100%.
he's got the thing moving. So,
It's like it's like Jay-Z started selling crack. Now, not selling crack.
right, right. I guess I thought you were gonna go P Diddy references, but
Nah,
we'll hold on that.
784 dildos?
Yep.
What?
Jeez, I
Damn.
missed that.
Oh
Wow,
no,
wow.
no.
All right,
That's
well,
one of the things.
I'll have to
That's one of the
go.
things that was disclosed in
Oh,
the
good lord.
documentation.
All right.
784 dildos. Like,
Well, there you go.
uh,
All
I mean,
right.
do I need?
We're
I
gonna have to
mean,
clip that one, and that's gonna be the viral clip.
that's the title of the show.
Yeah,
784
yeah.
dildos.
Well, not that
Welcome to
Emborder
HR.
is related to this in any way.
No,
Maybe I should skip this one till the next one.
no, no. You're good. You're good. You're good.
Emborder announces the important appointment
Yep.
of our friend Dan Finnegan as a CEO of Emborder. I think that's a really strong move.
Right.
I think that's a
That
strong
is.
move. I mean, he's got
He's
yeah. I mean,
he
Dan's
knows
got
how
a
to grow.
he
He
does.
knows how to grow companies. It's
He does.
fantastic.
He's got a tremendous background, right? So for those who haven't met Dan or know of Dan, CEO of JobVite, previous CEO of Filter, coming from Filter, SVP at Yahoo. Remember Yahoo? They're still around. They're still doing
Hmm.
it. So anyway, Brent Pearson, who's the founder of Emborder, will drive strategy, partnerships, customer engagements. This is a good play. Distributed workforce is not easy. It's a significant challenge for a lot of organizations, and he'll be able to handle that. I think he's going to take
I
them to the next level.
I think it's great. When he left, when K1 bought JobVibe,
Mm-hmm.
he took some time off and did some investing and kind of did like what a lot of these folks have done. Adam Miller and Colin Day. They take some time off, do some of that stuff that they needed to do, wanted to do, wish list, bucket list stuff, and then they get back in the game. And he got back in the game with Filtered, and we talked to him several times, just
Mm-hmm.
doing a really cool thing with Filtered because Filtered was evaluating your tech skills in a virtual environment for company, which I mean, you basically watch the person develop right in front of you in
Mm-hmm.
your environment, which was genius on so many levels. So um, I'm glad. I'm
Yeah.
glad for Brent because he'd been running it, and I'm sure it just got to a certain point where it's like you need new eyes. Great, he's got a
Yeah.
great set of eyes, and so I think it's good for everybody.
Congrats to everybody.
On to acquisitions, the A of BARF. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Easy Metrics acquires TZA, TIZA, to grow
Tizza.
visibility. The RZA, the Jizza, the Ghostface Killer. So they acquire TZA to grow visibility and warehouse ops. So basically, it's a strategic acquisition. Easy Metrics is a labor analytics platform. TZA is a labor management system. So basically, you're putting these two things together. Good for what's typically called a strategic acquisition.
Hmm.
You do a little of this, we do a little of this. There might be a little overlap. We serve the same industry. I found this story on sdcexec.com. You can read a little bit more about it, but solid acquisition.
Nice. All right. Progress acquires ShareFile for a measly $875 million. So congrats to those two. So this was financed through cash and credit. And this will move their revenue to about 240 million. So that's pretty good. This is a file management system, right? So
Right,
they it's
right,
a
right, right.
document sharing, collaboration type system. Um, I you know we've talked about a number of these types of plays where everything looks good, it's nice, it makes sense, all that stuff. But I think there'll be some challenges here. They have a lot of overlap in products. So what are they going to do with them all? They're going to sunset them, integrate them, which causes more challenges. So I think those are the couple things that I'm looking at there. Uh, Obviously, smarter people than me are working on this and they know what they're doing. So congrats, everyone. Everybody wins here.
So let me make sure I understand. They acquired them for cash and stock, etc., for let's say 900 million,
Hmm.
and it's going to add almost 300 million in revenue.
Correct.
Okay, that's cool. All right,
Yeah,
I got it.
that's
That's congrats to them.
yeah.
Ryan, I got some weed stories here. You ready? This is an
Weed
acquisition.
mowing your lawn.
Vankst, yeah, no. Vankst, a cannabis industry hiring platform, acquires Greenforce,
Hmm.
a cannabis temporary staffing agency. So when was the last time you heard of a hiring platform, like ATS, CRM, whatever, hiring or acquiring a staffing firm?
I haven't.
I don't either. So,
Is
so it
there a
is
need for very specific
100%.
for firms that are very specific to cannabis? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know
100%.
about it, but
Oh
it
yeah.
just feels like that's really specific. Like,
Well, it's like okay, think about it like a bourbon distillery.
hmm,
Okay, the people that work in bourbon,
they
so
know,
on
yeah, well, it makes sense. That
everywhere in
makes
bourbon,
sense. All
they
right.
sales,
Yeah.
distribution,
Yeah.
warehousing, manufacturing,
I
all
am
that stuff.
easily convinced.
Yeah, it's cannabis is like that. If you're working on the production side, you need employees that
Hmm.
understand that side of the business. So it isn't.
Okay.
There are some transferable skills, and some people don't want to work in the cannabis industry.
Right.
So you have to go out and find people. First cut is, are you willing and able to work in the cannabis industry?
Right.
Yes, no, maybe. So Vankst, and I found this actually on Vanks, VANGST.com.
Uh-huh.
I love it. It's a vertical integration. So when you think of these things, one's buying the other. Now they're buying a talent pool.
Right.
So that will help them with their clients.
Yep.
So
Good for
all
them.
good stuff.
All right. So,
Or
got some research.
are.
Talk some research. So, I want to ask you this. Well, I'm not going to ask because I got to tell you the story first. But which persona are you? That's what I called it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you what it's about before I can actually ask you the
All
question.
right,
So,
give it to me.
anywho, Salesforce they want to understand how workers interact with AI in their jobs. So this is, you know, how much you're using it, how often, what are you doing with it, all of that stuff, right? So anyway, the study found that workers' engagement with AI varies. Okay, we all kind of knew that.
Yeah.
But here's three quick metrics, three quick breakdowns.
Okay.
30% of workers are maximalists. That's using AI multiple times a week. Okay.
Hmm.
66% are rebels. They never use AI and they see it as a societal threat. Those are the 66 that will be unemployed next month.
Yeah.
20%, this is funny. I think this is higher. 20% are underground users. They leverage AI, but they keep it hidden from their
Hmm.
colleagues. They're an underground closet user of
Clo-
AI.
Closet user?
Yeah.
Huh. All
I
right.
think that's kind of stupid, right? Like, that's like me using TikTok and saying to my kids, you shouldn't use TikTok. I never use TikTok. And you just go upstairs and you use TikTok. Like, no, it's okay to use AI. It's okay to use an assistant. It's okay to do this stuff.
100%.
Like,
100%.
but anyway,
It's not a sign of weakness. This is really kind of what you're,
no,
what you.
but I think you're right though. People view it as a weakness. And if I'm using AI at work, am I really valuable? The answer is
Mm,
yes, you are, right? You
right.
know that, I know that, right?
Right.
And so anyway, so this is on Salesforce.com. Just go under their stories and it's under AI
Per,
personas at
per,
work. It's actually
personas
really
at work.
cool. And they have a lot of cool infographics there. So
And they're
check it out.
deploying $50 million in AI training, so they're going to
Right.
get more data that they will figure out these
Correct.
personas. They'll start
Correct.
breaking the personas down into sub
Hmm.
personas. All right, Ryan, let me pitch you this story here. Meetings are overused, leaving workers overloaded, says Atlassian. News at
Okay.
11. All right, this is on Atlassian.com.
Hmm.
Meetings suck. All right,
Well,
check. So some meetings suck. This is some cool data from Atlassian. So definitely go look at this. This is on Atlassian.com. It's on their blog. It's called Workforce Woes Meetings. So you can go find
okay.
out you can go find the data yourself. So I'll give you three metrics or three data points that came from this research. 78% of people we surveyed said they expected to attend so many meetings it's hard to get their work done.
That number
That
jives. Yeah,
that
that's
tracks.
about right. Yeah.
Okay. 51% have to work overtime at least a few days a week due to meeting overload. And for those director level and up, that number rises to 67%.
Hmm. I think
Tracks?
I think 67 sounds about right, right? My scientific approach.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think the 51%, I think that
Should
could
be
be,
high.
it
Could be
depends
a,
on the job. I think if it's a white collar job, I think that's a little higher.
yeah. I'm right there with you. And the last stat, 76% agree they feel drained on days when they have a lot of meetings. Nobody is having fun here. So that's their quotes, by the way. That's all their stats and their quotes, their
So
language. Nobody
they
is having
agree that
fun
they're
here.
so they agree that they're drained, which means they had to use their mind and think about work. They're emotionally drained. Nice. Okay.
Well, I when I read that, I thought, when you and I do 6 podcasts a day, or we have a bunch of calls
Oh,
in
I'm
one day,
I'm I'm whooped.
I'm beat.
Hmm.
I'm intellectually or whatever. I'm just
Yeah.
beat. Like I need to go to a quiet
Yeah.
space.
Well,
So
we start the first episode ends at 40 minutes, and then the
yes,
sixth episode ends at 22 minutes.
yeah. No, you're good.
No,
No,
I'm
it's
kidding.
everything's good. You sounded great. Everything. It's a wrap. No, but I can see that 76% feel drained. I can see
Yeah,
that number being
absolutely.
much higher. So
Yeah,
anyhow,
but this is actually a real problem. So like we
yeah,
laugh about it, but it's
we do.
actually a real problem. Like
Yep.
too many meetings. So we're so ingrained in our meetings, and we're conditioned to have meetings upon meetings upon meetings upon meetings. When you don't have the meetings, you feel like something is wrong.
That's right. You're on the outs.
Yeah, like
Don't understand.
why am I not at the meeting? Well,
Then
because you
it's,
don't need
well,
10
we're not
people there.
communicating. The leadership's not communicating. The
Right,
team's not
right.
communicating. It's like,
Yeah.
what do you want, dude?
It's actually a real problem, man.
Yeah.
I do like the idea. I struggle with this because, and this is interesting. So we could probably do a whole fucking episode on this. Meetings without an agenda. Do I attend? Do I not attend?
Dude,
Or
you would
30,
like this particular research because it gives solutions.
well,
It
yeah,
actually
so
tells
I
how to
probably
solve the
won't.
problem.
I probably won't look at it, but I'll
No,
say
I
I'll
got you.
look at
I
it.
got you.
But but like that, like I hear people say that. When I see a 30-minute meeting, I'm like, all right, that's gone 45.
Right.
Even if I want to get off the call, 15 minutes is too short. Maybe
Never
not.
happened.
Yeah, like 60, I don't even want to go.
Oh
Forget it.
no. Yeah.
Like whatever. Anyhow, all
All
right.
right. What do you got?
iSoft. So we do a lot of work with iSoft. We
Yeah.
love the
Yeah.
people at iSoft. We're going
Sponsor.
to be there in a couple of weeks. They're a
Yep.
sponsor of Work Defined. So thank you all very much. They have released for the fourth year in a row the Champions of Change
Okay.
So it's a Champions of Change report where they surveyed over 1,000 HR leaders to understand how they're creating meaningful employee experience. So this is a great report. I actually did read it, so I can say it's great. I can put my, not that it matters, but I'll put my seal on it. Um, Three things. Top threats. Identified main challenges in talent acquisition for 24. Okay. So retention strategies and tech investment. Those are the three things that they're really focused on here. So anyhow, take a look at it. You'll love it.
Dude, I love it. When you say you read it, you put it in Chat GPT and said summarize.
No, I actually did. I did read it. I did read it. It's not a huge report. It's not long. You can
So
actually read it. Read it.
that's how I read reports now.
Although it does.
Give me the 5 things I need to know about this.
It is really good to do that. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I actually did. I did. I went and downloaded it and I looked at it and all that stuff. But I
Wow.
should throw it in. Yeah, I know. I probably overdid it there.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's good.
Anyhow,
We love iSoft. Okay. Let me the 20 best states to be a teacher. This is survey and I'm going to give you the 20, but really this is a story about recruiting, retention, compensation, and the state funds. Like people actually prioritizing education, right?
hmm
So we both made the list. I mean,
I made the
Pennsylvania
list.
and Texas. No, yeah,
Yeah.
Tin Cup.
I
No.
get the district up here sucks to work at. I shouldn't say that. They're a great district. I just have a little bit of issues with the
Yeah,
homepage
seems
stuff.
like.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is the first 4 are in the Northeast: Massachusetts, New Jersey, Connecticut, New York. Then you get to 5, North Dakota. Okay,
Hey.
Maryland, Illinois, Georgia, which the South always gets pinged for being shitty on education. So there's that. Colorado, Vermont, back to the Northeast,
hmm
Virginia. At 12 is Pennsylvania,
Okay.
New Hampshire, Washington. That's an outlier for me. Wyoming, outlier. Texas at 16. Yay! Minnesota, Nebraska, Rhode Island,
And
and
this is
Maine.
to work.
This is the best. This is the list of the best states to be a teacher. So it has, when you do you do the 20, right?
hmm
It has almost the entire Northeast in the top 20,
Yeah.
which again, if you look at college, so this is all K through 12 stuff. But if you look at college, like a lot of colleges are in the Northeast.
hmm
It's like there is, well, the Northeast is older.
We are educated over here.
Yep, there is an East Coast bias. But this one's not like that. This one's just basically you got to recruit a teacher, you got to find them, recruit them, you got to you've got to
hmm
keep them, you got to pay them, and then the environment has to be
Yeah.
one in which they thrive. So
No.
uh,
Well,
there you go. So you're 12,
I'll never be a teacher. We're number 12.
you're 12, 12 out of 50s, whatever. If they add the territories, that's pretty dang good, actually.
Oh,
So there you go.
solid build time.
On to funding.
Yeah. What do you got?
So we both caught this one with safety culture just because it's a
Oh yeah.
big number.
hmm
Raises 110 million. This is I
hmm
found this on Coverager,
hmm
COVERAGR.com. So the funding will help safety culture grow into bigger enterprise markets, speed up its use of AI, and provide benefits to its long-term employees. I've never seen that before.
Hmm.
I've seen it. I've never seen it stated like a use of funding.
hmm
So I don't know if they were working without benefits. Yeah.
We're just gonna cut a check. We're gonna back
Hey,
pay everybody.
hey, now we have benefits. I don't know if it's that, which I don't think. I
Yeah.
think it's additional benefits and things
Yeah.
like that, maybe bonuses.
Yeah.
But so safety culture is exactly what you think it is. It's
hmm
workforce productivity, quality, improved quality, employee engagement,
Driving a
and
culture of safety.
culture of safety.
Yeah.
So it is all things. It's based in Australia. So
This is in Australia. What I found interesting about this, I know we both found it,
mhm,
the valuation. The valuation is lower this time around
that's right.
than their first round of funding. Not by a tremendous amount, but it's down. And so, I know it's a shitty market, but that is something, to
That
be
means they
aware of.
had to raise. I mean,
That
ultimately,
right
what that means is that 110 million,
wasn't enough.
they had to raise that money. Now, they're
Right.
still a unicorn in Australia.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
still considered a unicorn, and rightfully so. But the valuation went significantly down.
Yeah.
So,
Look, 2.5 billion is 2.5 billion. So,
no hate.
investors may not love it, but whatever. It's all good. Okay, so HR1. This is
Hmm.
a small one. This is not a huge one.
Yeah, we
HR
went from
one
110 to, yep.
four.
No, it's
4
okay.
billion, right? In a pre-series B.
Hmm.
So pre-series B. So this is an India-based company. It focuses on HR automation. It's a pre-series B, so they're going to use the fund to scale here, right? This is let's get us to a place of goodness.
Was
Kind
that
of
4 million in cash USD?
that is 4 million USD. Yes.
It goes a long way in India.
Oh, sure it
Just
does. Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But it's
All right.
a bridge, right? It's a bridge to get to B, and let's scale and get our stuff where we need to be. The challenge, I think, and I think here is what we see a lot. Companies, a lot of companies in India are fantastic, but they have trouble scaling beyond
Yeah.
the borders there, right? And so I'm curious to see kind of where this goes. Are they going to use some of this money not just to build capabilities, but are they going to build more of a global leadership team
It's a
to bring
tough
them?
India's a tough market
Yeah,
for that reason that you state, but also for companies to go to India. Because
right.
we think of like I like the United States. We think of
Yeah,
the United States as like, okay, the United States consumes a lot of software. Yep, but the United States is like 12 different places.
right.
And so India is same
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
in each of those areas. So it's not like it's a huge
Yeah,
country, check, but it is it isn't just one country. It's a bunch of different
right.
territories, if you
Hmm.
will. So
Right. Yep. Good for them.
yeah, good for them. All right, let me give you this one. Peter Thiel backed Mercor,
Mercor.
Mercor, raises 30 million to revolutionize hiring with AI. This is on techfundingnews.com. You can go read about it. Um, basically, can we predict a great hire? When you get right down to it, how do we do that? People have been trying to solve this riddle for 2,000 years. So this is what they're solving for. This is what Mercor is solving for. It uses AI models to better assess a candidate's skill set and predict their ability to perform well in a given role. So again, they're not the only ones trying to do this. There's a lot of
Right.
companies that are trying to do this. It's a holy grail because if we could predict that,
Right.
then we don't have to. We could go down to that one candidate and go, yeah, this person's 98%. Yep, done,
Right.
hired, and move on. So
Okay.
I don't bet against Peter Thiel.
No.
Good for them, and we'll kind of keep an eye on their growth.
All right. All right. These guys. I'm gonna look into the camera. I'm gonna look into the camera for this one. Willow raises 2.4 in a Series A. So
Mm,
congratulations first off to these guys. Startup in Glasgow. They are fantastic people. So we've had a pleasure of interviewing these guys a number of times, worked with them a number of times in the past. Woody and Ewan, congratulations on the funding and on the growth, number one. The
yep.
team has grown, the product has grown, they're starting to become a household name in video, in interviewing and screening and all of that stuff. But here's what I'm going to look into the camera, deep into their soul. I still have your sticker on my kayak. It's pimped out
Really?
right there. A little
Okay.
nudge. I need a tournament sponsor.
There you go.
Is that a
Yeah.
or a go wink?
If you don't ask, they
Yeah,
don't know.
right, right.
They
I
can read
need
your mind.
Yeah, I need a fully wrapped vessel for these
Well, that'd be
tournaments, not
cool.
just big stickers with
Vinyl.
Willow. Yeah. So anyhow, all
Hmm.
kidding aside, congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
Love the work that you're doing. But you have my number if you definitely want to sponsor a tournament.
Ryan Teambridge, founded by former Uber execs,
Mm.
raises $28 million to build HR software for hourly workers. It's on
There's a lot
TechCrunch.
in the hourly space now.
I know, it's fucking
Man.
insane. It's like this. The market has always been there, but we've ignored it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like
Yeah.
over-indexing. It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
I
now we
shouldn't.
gotta.
I probably
Now
shouldn't say there's a lot in our. It always has been. It's
but
just
not
where the
compared to
money's at.
corporate. Yeah,
Correct.
not
Yeah.
compared to corporate. So so this is again, it's on TechCrunch, so you can go read the
Mm-hmm.
story yourself. Um, this is their own language, so I want to make sure that you understand it's a quote. Now I find it interesting. The app, which companies can customize, lets employees view and claim shifts, sign any necessary legal documentation, and text with managers. Basically, you got Uber execs
Mm-hmm.
applying that model, that real-time model,
Mm-hmm.
to talent.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah, I think they've got it. There's things that are non-app like workflows and stuff like that. So they got some other stuff
Yeah.
that that TeamBridge does, but they've also got an app. So they've got kind of a B2B play and then a B2C play with the app with
Right.
talent. So good for them.
Yeah. All right. Sensia
Mm-hmm.
partners with
Joe.
Workday. So I put this, I put this into funding. I don't know what the dollar amounts, all that stuff.
Yeah, they
But
didn't
anyhow,
disclose.
right. So for those of you who don't know, Sensia is all about internal mobility, right? So retaining talent, et cetera, developing talent, et cetera. So I love Sensia and everything that they do. And this isn't a dog. Congrats on that, because it'll be a huge partnership for them, of course.
Oh yeah.
But if you go to Sensia.com, CENSIA.com/workday, that site is significantly nicer, better, functional than the Sensia.com website.
Oh,
It's almost as
funny.
if they're put the entire basket right into that partnership there.
Well, and it's right during Workday Rising or
Right. Right. And I
after
know they
Workday
did it.
Rising.
You need to make a big splash. Totally get it.
Yeah.
But that was the one thing that stuck out to me. But the good part is there's a lot of Workday customers, and they need this help. And so there's no need to go rebuild and bring on 30 different platforms. Like, you have this in the system.
Yeah,
Sensia is going to help you
Workday.
get there.
You're going to see more and more of this Workday building an ecosystem stuff.
Yeah.
So now, what's really fascinating is Workday Ventures put the money into them.
Right.
So the money that was not disclosed, Workday Ventures was involved in that,
Right.
and they're building out more. They finally kind of come to the grips that where Oracle and SAP have done the same thing in years past, that we can't build it all. We're
Right.
not going to build it all.
And there's no need to build it all.
And there's no need to build it all. Thank you. We're going to put an ecosystem around all the stuff that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is one like Beamery or like
Right.
Paradox or any of these folks. They either acquire and bring
Right.
in, or they partner with them and put them in the ecosystem and they become a preferred vendor, etc. Good for him. I love Joe.
Yeah.
She's just a good-hearted person, and I'm glad that that she has this partnership because they won't have to go outside the ecosystem for Cincy to be super successful.
No, they can live there for many, many, many years and scale. Add that.
I'm going to say this name slowly. Black Cloak, because boy, that could go sideways really fast.
Never a dull moment. Go ahead.
Raises $17 million to protect executives, high-profile individuals. This was on blackcloak.io. So, just when you thought we were all equal,
Yeah.
Black Cloak provides corporate executives with cyber protection to mitigate risk against sophisticated cyber attacks, and while providing personal protection for them and their families. So this is a bit that basically those executives that don't want to go into the office. My bad.
Yeah.
This is actually a product that's built for them.
Yeah.
So to keep them safe.
So is this for like high value executives, like CEO of PepsiCo?
Didn't say.
Because 17 million doesn't seem like, I don't know if they have doesn't seem like a lot of money to protect, a $40 billion CEO of a major Fortune 10.
I'm assuming that this is a hacker company. that basically it's just a group of people that put in place protections. And again, we'll start with the C-suite. Let's just do that. But I could see them going down
Sure.
further into the enterprise with a product that basically helps all the employees, maybe
Right.
even offering it as a benefit. But right now they're starting Black Cloak is starting with
I need
executives.
to get you off this one.
I swear to God, it's going to come out at one point.
Oh
It's like
man.
it's like Ted. Yeah, just type into Google
Goodness.
everywhere you go.
All right. I've got one more funding, and I saved this one for last, for me anyhow, because I love what they're doing. So
Okay.
this is a company called 11X, and they just took in $24 million for its digital workforce. So just by what I said, you can probably figure out what they're doing, right? But think SDRs, all this stuff,
Right.
salespeople, they're not just the employee.
Right.
They're building the process, right? So
Right.
as they're working for you, they're actually building this process of prospecting, reaching out, connecting on LinkedIn, doing all this stuff. And it's not just through automation. They're actually doing their stuff. Right. And so you're building relationships with Alice, I think her name is, and whoever. There's a whole cast of characters you can hire. So what really blew my mind here, I don't know why it did, but it just for some reason it kind of hit differently. In the release on their site, they said we don't target SaaS spend, we target hiring budgets.
Yep.
This is a direct right out of the, and I just thought it was genius that they're saying this. We're in the business of selling work. The key is to unbundle specific tasks traditionally performed by employees and to resell them. I haven't really heard a company recently, anyway. I mean, I can't really think of a good example that says we're going to unseat your employees.
Yeah.
Here's what we're doing, and I'm going to actually say it in the like. There's no BS here. Like we're a digital workforce. We're going to unbundle all of this stuff your employees are doing that they don't need to be doing, and we're going to go sell you that. And we're selling it to hiring and HR.
Yeah.
We're not selling into in the tech or anywhere.
Right.
We're literally going right after hiring.
This is
it.
it's a replacement. So a couple things they're building with the money. They're building some other personas. But let me read you something. This was on TechCrunch, by the way, for people that are listening. You can go read about 11X. So let me just read you this. This is a direct quote from Hassan Sakar, the founder and CEO of 11X. All right. Instead of traditional software, which is tools and workflows that make people slightly more productive or efficient, agents enable us to automate activities in a way that operates on autopilot, in a way that requires no humanity, in a way that is extremely high skill. He says of his vision of a highly proficient, no human required workforce.
I know it's unpopular. I don't.
Someone actually said it.
Yeah. I'm telling everything they said in this. It's almost as if it was like an onion, like the onion put out the press release.
We're getting rid of all the humans.
Yeah, they're just like, we don't need your shit. Like, get out of here.
Dude,
like, fire your 85 people. My SDR is never going to talk to you, and they're going to kill it.
That is the first time. You got to go read this because this is a direct quote, by the way, as I read it. That is a direct quote from Hassan. That a no human required workforce.
Sadly, we are not a fit for the company. I did put a request in for a demo,
100%.
and they said, "Doesn't look like you're a fit for the." They want money.
Go away.
We're not.
Go away.
But I did reach out to them because I want to see this in action. I want to see what they're doing, and I think the audience would really enjoy this.
They'd get a kick out of that. Yeah,
for sure.
Last and funding the F of BARF. Become.one secures 3.3 million euros in seed funding to make employee benefits simple, flexible, and compliant. This was on veer1.com. So this is Go Heidelberg, Germany, Go. And I'm sure that Germany has a different kind of benefits spectrum and landscape than in the States. So it'll be really interesting to see them grow and if they're going to stay in Germany or if they're going to go around continental Europe, etc. But it's become.one. is the name of the company, and they're just trying to make benefits better. Can't
We
hate.
all need benefits.
It's all right.
Yeah. So,
Can't hate.
well, that wraps us up for today.
That's crazy.
So we're solid. It's time to get out there, get ready for this plane ride. We're headed out to HR Tech. We'll be at Indeed FutureWorks. We'll be at iSoft Connect. If you see us there, please hit us up. Take a moment, review if you could, right? Wherever you're listening, just hit the little 5-star. Don't go anything less than that. It always helps us. We love y'all so much.